Right, I've got all the wiring tied in, sorted the rear light wire out and that's in properly now. Set all the cables, like the throttles and the clutch. They're not clipped on yet. What I've also done off camera is I've fitted the gear side forward controls. What else did I do? Obviously zoom back out, fitted the mirrors, same on both sides. I've tested it again, make sure everything's working as it should, electrically wise, and it is. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a couple other bits and pieces that I need to sort out, like put the rear foot pegs on, for instance, and then what I'm going to do is I'll take the spark plugs out, spray a bit of lube into the pots, and when I get to that stage I'll bring you back and we'll go for a turnover on the engine, just to sort of build up a bit of oil pressure. Now, I haven't serviced it, it hadn't done a lot of miles before it was serviced anyways, but what I want to do is get it up and running, because I want the oil at least warm so that it'll drain out properly when I do come to service it, which it'll be serviced before it goes for an MOT, and I'll use that AMS oil, whatever it was called, that I've used in my electric light, because that's fucking good stuff. So yeah, I'll come back when I've got to that point, and we'll give it a turn over, and hopefully everything will be okay. And then I think after that we'll go for getting the tank on, put the dash panel on, etc., and then I'll go and get some fuel for it, and we might even have it running. So see what these new pipes sound like. Right, so I'll be back soon. Right, I've done what I said I was gonna. Took the plugs out and I sprayed some lube in, and I did that like a couple of minutes ago, just to give it a chance to get round the piston. So, if I can find my keys, moment of truth, and find out if this thing's seized with standard, which it shouldn't have done, but be interesting. Now there's no plugs in it, just so it makes it easy for it to turn over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over like a couple of turns and then stop, turn it over again another couple of turns and then stop, and then turn it over until the oil light goes out. Oh, that was a good sign. That's the oil light went out then. So what I'll do is I'll lift you off, bring you around, turn the screen. Right, so the oil light, as you can see, the oil light's back on there. Turn the switch on and then start turning her over and the oil light should go out pretty quickly. There, that went out quite quick, and it should come back on quite quickly there. So it's got a bit of oil in the pump causing the pressure, which puts the light out. Just do it again. Keep it going for a little while. And we'll call that a success, I think. So what I'll do now is I'll ratchet the plugs. Well, first I'll turn it back off. I must get this. No, wrong one. I must get this battery sorted in this. In this other fob. Come on. That puts it into service mode, by the way, with what I'm doing there. So that when you move it about, it doesn't set the alarm off. Because there's now worse. So, what I'll do now is I'll put the plugs back in. I'll ratchet the tank out and get the tank fitted. And I'll put the dash back on the tank, get it all put on properly. Might as well put the seat on. And then I'll come back, you can have a quick nose at it while it's back together. And then I'll shoot in and get some fuel. And we'll go for a start up. Right, back soon. Right. There we have it, tank's back on, seat, obviously you can see that, but that's pretty much what it's going to look like. It's got good ground clearance, which is what we're after. All I need to do now is put some fuel in it. So, I was going to say something else and I forgot. Oh yeah, it's not obviously 100% finished yet. There's a couple of little chrome caps to go on here and there that were on the bike. Front brakes to bleed. I'm going to adjust the handbrake again. With us rolling it backwards and forwards and using the handbrake, it's now pulls to its full extent. So I'll adjust all that back up again. But I'll do that later. Obviously as well, I've got to go right through it, make sure everything's tight. This is the next day, by the way. The other video where I said I was going to put all this on, that was yesterday, but my mate turned up and brought my tools back. So I'll tighten all this up. But I will go right through the bike and make sure everything's tight and locked in place, etc. So yeah, I shall sort my fuel out and we'll get it cracked up, see what she's going to sound like with these pipes on. Right, I'll be back soon. Right, just got my fuel out the back of the car. The only downside is I don't know where the bit is off my fuel can, the funnel part. So I'll have a look, there'll be something kicking. Oh, actually, funnel on here. That'll fit in there, yes. And I think to be on the safe side, I'll just shove a rag on there. You know what I mean? I don't want to spill it everywhere. Hold that in place. Cool as. more of a mess, try and not to make a mess. Right, I'll just chuck that on there. Pull this rag out and wipe up. I never actually spilt it where the rag was. And splashed it over the edge and spilt it everywhere else. Right, put that back over there. Cap on. Right, before I start that, let's turn this round to make sure there's plenty of battery. Yep. Right. Next step is find the keys. Couldn't see them for looking at them. Right, I'll just switch it on and let it prime. Oh, it would help if I actually switched it on. Switch it back off again. Right, that should be primed, so let's see. Right, I'll just knock you off a minute and I've got a visitor. Start that again. Yeah, just a friend just turned up then. Right, we'll fire this up again. Sounds nice enough. It's not stupidly loud, but it is loud. Right, so that's it running. Clutch, I was just checking the clutch there as you saw, rolling it back and forwards. Back brakes work fine, handbrakes not holding it. As I say, I need to adjust it anyways. So yeah, what I'll do now is I'll just go through everything, put the last bits and pieces on, like the little chrome cover over the swing arm bolts, etc. Bleed the front brake up, sort the handbrake out, give it a general tidy up, and then the next step after that is get it booked in for an MOT. And see how it goes. So for now, that's it. If there's out else crops up, I'll do another vid or an extension of this one, because I won't be doing this one yet straight away. Yeah, as I say, it sounds nice enough. Right, catch you next time. Right, quick one to end all this with. If anyone who's watched these videos from the start, or even caught a few of them, if they remember when I took my handlebars off the bike and took the throttle cables off, they remember that the clip off the throttle cable just went flying and I couldn't find it. You can buy them. I don't know how well this is going to show up, so I'll try not to lose it. Just, if you can see that on there, can't even see it myself. Oh, no wonder I went wrong screen. There, that little clip, that's what sits around the end of your throttle cable where it shoves up into the handlebars. Now you can buy them separately. I mean, I got mine from America. Throttle cable retaining rings, and I get them in bags of 10. I usually, because I'm buying them from America, I usually buy like 30 at a time. Because 90% of the time, it's probably me not being gentle enough, but I tend to break them or stretch them when I'm taking throttle cables out, so I just always put new ones on. So, just thought I'd quickly show that one, because obviously when I put the throttle cables back on I had to use one of them. But before I haven't done anything on the bike. The first, as soon as I switched the video off, I thought one thing I am going to do is sort my key fob out. Now, this was the one that the battery was dead, and it felt exactly the same as the other. You pressed the button, it didn't feel as if it was doing anything. So I stripped it apart and basically cleaned it up, and it now feels as good as a new fob. So I thought, well, sod it, I might as well show how it's done. So this is the one that I was using, which if you saw in the video I was like really pressing it, trying to push my finger through it type of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'll strip this one down and show you what I did on the other one, exactly the same as I need to do on this one. I'll also put a new battery in. Noisy kid. First off, just I'll try and keep it in view. Just stick a thin blade into the top there and just twist it. Don't try and pry it, just twist it. And it basically just, I'll try and keep it in view as I say, just zoom out a touch. Might be a bit easier. So it's already cracked at this side. So as I say, just put your blade underneath and twist. And you can see there it's just lifting up. And then just go right round the edge and twist. Don't try and lever it, just twist. And it just lifts it apart nice and gentle. And that's it, it comes apart. So what you end up with is you've got your little circuit board in there, and the other half has the battery in. Now there's nothing to do to that half apart from change the battery, so I'll just stick that out of the way for now. Now on this one, I want the little circuit board out. So the easiest way of doing that, it sits in a rubber sort of rubber cover, and it's part of that. The rubber cover's part of that, which you'll see in a second. So basically just press that and just carefully put my hand out so it doesn't fly off. Just push it and it just pushes it out of that half of the fob. So I'll just stick that out of the road for now. And then you can peel off, just peel off the rubber. It's not stuck, it just sort of sits inside. There's your little bit that does the deed, that little bit that sticks out the end there. And again, I'll just stick that to one side for now. Now it's these two bits here that I'm interested in. That gold patch and that one in the middle. Just get yourself an eraser and just clean it. The best thing you can get for cleaning electrical connectors. Just rub lightly, don't press on hard, but just rub lightly and give them both a clean. To be truthful, I don't think you need to clean both of them, it's just the middle one really. But as you could see, I don't know how well it showed up to start with, but I can see that it's changed colour. And it's now nice shiny goldy colour again. Don't need to do anything on that side, but if you want to, you could just lightly rub over that silver bit there. That's the bit that sits on your battery when it's together. So just clean the surface off. So basically for now that bit's finished with. The next thing is the bit the rubber was sat in. What I've found on the other one is over a period of time there's a lot of grime and dirt got into this ring, and it's actually, this one doesn't look as bad as the other one was, but I noticed that the rubber itself looks bad, so I think a lot of the dirt that was in it's come off on the rubber. So what basically with that, just get yourself a bit of rag, a bit of tissue or anything basically, and get the trusty old Mr. Sheen out. Just spray a little bit onto the rag, whatever it is you're using, and then just stick it inside and then spin it round. Not only will this clean the inside of the ring, it gives it a nice smell. And you see the shit on there, just off the inside of that ring. And while I'm at it, I might as well just clean the rest of it up. It'll never be mint. I mean, these fobs are like 20 years old. Give the inside a quick wipe out. The edges are clean. Right, and again for now that's that bit finished. I can see that that's clean. So just stick that to one side and get the rubber. And basically I don't know how well this will pick up. Can you see the grime around the edge of that? That was actually sticking when you go to press it. See, it's funny because even though it's not connected to anything, just putting it on my hand now and pressing that button, it's got that proper, that almost clicky feel that you get. whereas it wasn't doing that before. It felt like sticky and just fucking squashy. So I'm going to do the same thing, just allow spray Mr. Sheen. I'm using Mr. Sheen because that's all I had in the fucking garage, and just clean in where you round the edge of that bit. I couldn't believe it when I put the other one back together, and it was like a brand new fob, and it works perfect. Give the rest of it a wipe out. Give that a quick wipe off in there. Right, so that's now clean. As you can see now, all the build-up of crud that was in there, it's all gone. So, to put it back together, as you can see from that, its shape, it's got sort of quite squared edges on there and squared corners on there and more radiused corners on that one, and it's the same for that. So just line it up so it's going to fit, and then just push it in. So that's your little circuit board back in the press button bit, and then get the button, the body, and as you'll see on that bit, it's exactly the same. Tighter corners on there, more radius corners there, so obviously it can only fit in one way. So lower it in. Now it won't just drop in, because obviously the rubber, it's a nice tight sort of fit. So you just press it gently. Never be too rough with these. Try to keep it in view. Never be too rough with them. You know, it's not, you're working with a little skitty electric circuit board. If you're rough, you'll just break it, and you don't need to be rough with it. So just press it in place, and if I just put my finger on there, just so it's like held in place, and then press the button, it already feels different. It's got that click sort of feel to it again. If you even hear it, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. I don't know if it'll pick that up, but it feels clicky, even though there's nothing inside it to click. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? So, the next one is whip the battery out, which is straightforward enough. Just that's it. So the batteries are 2032s. So you go to Halfords or any sort of auto store and just get a new 2032. Doesn't matter what brand it is. In fact, before I put the new battery in, I'll just give this side a quick clean. The old Mr. Sheen out again. What I'm sort of cleaning here isn't so much where the battery is, it's just on the sides, which if you looked at it when it's all together, it would be like the little crack that runs around the edge. So just clean all the grime out of that. Might as well give the back a wipe over while I'm at it. And the edge. And yeah, if you've got a fob and it just needs a battery in it, this is basically what you'd be doing. Just split it like I did to start with. You don't need to take the circuit board out, but it'd be good practice to just split it and give that little bit of clean with the rubber, because it cleans the contact part of it. But split your battery, split your casing, take your battery out, get a new battery and put it back in and put it back together if that's all you need to do. So I'll just get this battery out of here. Right, so that's the new battery. It even says it inside there, plus down. So if you look at your battery, you've got that sort of side, and then you've got the shiny side with the writing on. That side goes down. So just drop it in place. Make sure it sits in flush. That's it done. Then get the other half. See the shape, the round, the bigger radiused corners. They go into the matching corners on there. So just put it over its cell, and basically just press it together. Don't press it in the middle, just press it around the edges, and it'll just clip back together. And I don't know if you'll be able, yeah, you can see enough there, but if I now, remember before I was having to really press this, I'm just going to lightly, that's it, that's the bike on. So, and I'll just just lightly with my little finger, just ever so lightly press that button and hold it. That's it gone into, just lightly. That fob's working like new. Now, that's both of them working now, as good as new. For 5 minutes worth of time to clean it all up and change the battery. 60 odd fucking quid to buy a new fob. Fucking ridiculous. So, but yeah, I just thought I'd show that. I did one, and then I thought actually I'll show that, you know, explain how it just by cleaning them you can make them like new fucking fobs again. So yeah, I'll end the series with that. There might be one more video, well there will be one more video, once this thing's been for MOT and everything I'll make a video, you know, saying it passed no problem or it didn't, it needed this and that. So until then, that's it for now. Catch you next time.